Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the tavern. I'm Spencer,
Real life.
and this is Bardic Blunders. Uh, so we kind of got a stream. I named it how to wing it when DMing as a DM. But that's not the only thing we're talking about. I just wanted. I had that thought because we were supposed to do D&D tonight until everyone canceled. Um, I had that thought though. I was
You
like, oh,
mean I
yeah,
canceled?
what?
You mean I canceled?
Yeah, and then Justin was like, "I'm at Disney." I'm like, "Oh, okay, great. Uh, More than just you canceled." What's up, Squiddy? Um, so we do have a sleep deprived Eli here. Uh,
Brown chicken, brown cow.
yeah, that's on that tracks. A sleep deprived Eli, who, by the way, just started his own YouTube channel. Uh, he doesn't have any videos on it yet, but he is Ghost Guy Official. I'm sure he'll link it in the Discord. But
It's probably do that right now.
yep. Yes, you are the first person here, Squiddy boy. Um, but yeah, he's gonna start playing games himself. He wants to be a VTuber.
That won't happen for a while.
Yeah, probably not.
Plus, I gotta beat you to 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I mean, if you start as a VTuber, you probably will. Um, but to actually get on to what's a VTuber, Squiddy Boy, a VTuber is somebody who uses an animated model in place of a face cam. So they have this like tracking equipment that they use, so it tracks their facial movements and their body movements, and it's basically like, oh, I want to stream, but I don't want this. Well, a
See my
PNG
ugly ass
tuber,
face.
a PNG tuber has a flat image that just lights up. A VTuber actually moves around and like has facial expressions and everything that does a bunch of. I'm not really deep into the VTuber world, but I know they're very popular. It's not my personal area,
I
but
actually really like them. Funny enough, I watch a lot of YouTubers.
yeah, I know you do. The only one that I watch at all is Chibi, and that's because she plays with Ray. Um,
That's who got me into the VTubers.
yeah, that. But yeah, so he's got his own channel. Check him out. He won't be streaming Bardic Blunders on there, but we will try and play at least something together once a week. We're gonna try and make that a thing. Scheduling is a nightmare, but maybe we'll get there. But as for now, let's go ahead and kick it off right with our first topic, which is the game of the month for December, which was Frog Detective: The Entire Mystery. I played it on stream a couple days ago. If you didn't catch it, you can go back and watch it. It was a pretty funny game.
I played it right after you did, so.
Oh, did you do the third mystery? Or
Yeah. No, I only did the first two because it
I'll let you go first.
it was completely based to your humor.
Oh yeah, 100%. It was
Not at all based on my humor.
it perfectly aligned with what I find funny. I want to do the third mystery. I probably won't stream it because I don't think it's going to be long enough to stream. It's it's a really, like, I found it really funny, and I know it's going to be very particular as to who's going to enjoy it. But the only reason I stopped before the third mystery the other night was because coming up with different voices and trying to play all these different characters got exhausting. And I'm sure it won't be nearly that bad if you don't stream it.
I'm gonna be honest, it was not my humor. But there was like 2 funny parts to me in the whole thing.
I died laughing when they were the whole spiel about how books are useless.
Yeah, I know that. I knew that was gonna get you as soon as they said it. I'm like, Spencer's gonna start laughing here.
that line killed me. Everyone knows books spread misinformation. Well, Squiddy, we're doing the podcast right now. I can't really chat. I mean, I can talk to you while you're in chat, but so I thoroughly enjoyed the game. It's a very short game. It's story based. It's not really like typically the kind of game I enjoy a lot, and it's definitely not something I could play more than once, but for just one playthrough, it was absolutely solid. I really enjoyed it.
So, yeah, it wasn't my kind of game. It wasn't my flavor.
That's fair. That's fair. I think.
But we're gonna have those kinds of games.
Did we develop a rating scale last time we did this?
No. Well, yeah, we did. We kind of put Lamplighters in C.
Okay, so we were doing it like a tier list. That's right. Okay, I would put Frog Detective in A. I'd put it in A. I would put it in C again, man. See, the thing I have to say, even again, like, it's not a game I'm probably gonna play again. After I do the third mystery, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm good. But I think it was a more competent game than Lamplighter. And again, not to like rip into Lamplighters League or anything. But it really, that Lamplighters League felt incomplete. Like, it was missing things, and it was just, things needed to be fixed for it to be a better game. I really don't think there's anything to fix about Frog Detective. You either like it or you don't. And I mean, there's going to be games like that. So, I am throwing Frog Detective.
If we played a Halo. Well, you're going to rate it high. I'm going to rate it towards middle ground.
Right. So, we do need to figure out, we should have probably discussed this prior to starting the podcast, what game we want to do next.
Well, I have Game Pass open.
Yeah, I do as well. So, let's look.
Among Us.
Build. I'm not, no. Get out of here. How about Spirit Tea? I've been looking at this for a little bit, seeing that it's supposedly similar to Stardew.
Hold on. I gotta find it. I don't read that fast.
You could put Hollow Knight in S. Dude, if we put... we can't really do Hollow Knight for this, because I've already played through it multiple times. But I would absolutely put Hollow Knight in S tier. I have a feeling Eli would not, but...
Wait, what? Spirit Tea?
Yeah.
Why not?
All right, cool. So the game of the month for January is going to be Spirit Tea. I will stream it at some point. You think you might stream it at some point?
So I'm trying to get like a blocked out schedule.
That's fair. I'm the best YouTuber of the year.
You kind of go all over.
Thank you, Squiddy. That's quite the claim to make 3 days into the year, but I appreciate it.
You tend to jump all over the place. Like, you'll just go like, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're playing Pokemon Black, and we're gonna play through the entire thing.
I play what I want to play. And I have no problem if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I really don't want to play that today, saying, hey, I'm not playing that today. I'm playing something else. You know, I don't have any
Fair
issues
enough.
doing that.
I was also planning on doing like a multiplayer night where it's like, okay, we're gonna mass fans come and play. We're gonna mass drop into like Halo.
That would be cool. I want to do that. I want to do that with like a Minecraft server. But, well, one, I don't exactly have the money right now to pay for Realms, but I don't want to put out my Xbox account, for everyone
Fair
to
enough.
follow.
I mean, mine's gonna be out there just because I play most of my games through Xbox.
I mean, that's true. I guess if I could make a secondary account, maybe I could do that. I have to figure that out. But as of right now, the Minecraft server ain't gonna work out because I can't pay for Realms right now. I just can't afford it. So, you know, not a big deal, but we'll get there eventually. But yeah, I'd love to play.
Like, I'm looking at like, yeah, I completely get it. Like, I'm looking at like, okay, Monday we're gonna do like RTS games or along those lines.
Right. Yeah, you're actually setting
Like,
up what kind of game you're gonna play.
yeah, it may not be the same every week. Like, if we play a Civ game and we just crush the game, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna play it again. I'm gonna have 2 longer stream days where it'll probably be like, yeah, we're going through Gears of War for some reason.
For some
And
reason. I don't know why, but
it'll honestly most likely be Halo. I'll probably start with Halo.
all right, fair
I
enough.
might do Hollow Knight just to show how much better of a gamer I am than you.
Oh yeah, okay. Good luck with that. You clearly missed my stream earlier where I beat 3 of the hardest bosses in the games without charms. And another one of those 3 bosses I beat without dodging. So
I got you beat.
good luck. Good luck. Squiddy Boy, to answer your question, my least favorite Hollow Knight boss is... Oh, I should know the answer to that. Flying Nosk. Flying Nosk sucks. It's just Vengefly King, but worse. Like, seriously, Flying Nosk is terrible. But yeah, so on to the next one. Speaking on Hollow Knight, I have boss rush modes put in here, but it's not just boss rush. It's also what Hollow Knight does with the Hall of the Gods, I think is what they call it, where it lets you go and pick out any boss in the game to fight that boss again, and gives you different, like, oh, the boss will do double damage. Oh, now the boss will kill you in one hit. Not that I think that concept would work in every game, but definitely, dude, if I could have a Dark Souls mode where I just walk into a room and I can fight any boss I want to again, oh, that's a dream. Like, so many great bosses in games that it's like, well, if I want to fight that boss, I gotta go all the way through the game, I think there's a lot of games that could benefit from something like what Hollow Knight did.
Disagree with you. I don't typically play those games.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the problem you run into with that one is I don't typically play them, so it's like, okay, whatever. If you're enjoying it, cool, awesome, man. I'm gonna sit over here and jam weird games,
Right.
like
And
FPS games.
I mean, like, fighting bosses is like my thing. That's my favorite thing to do in games. Can I put in music? I want to make a playlist of royalty-free music I can play quietly in the background, but I don't have any. because the last time I tried to play royalty-free music on stream, YouTube DMCA'd like 90% of them. So I don't want to take this episode down. So we'll figure that out eventually. But as for right now, no, I can't do any music without worrying about YouTube being like, nah, you broke the rules, son. So basically, I hate you. No. But I think there's a lot of games that could benefit from looking at what another game does and implementing that into their game, even beyond just the boss rush, like, or fighting bosses or anything like that. I mean, so many games, like the number of games that unnecessarily tag a stamina bar or something like that into the game just to add like an artificial difficulty. You know, it's kind of getting into more game design than boss rush, which I should have just made the topic. Like, what can games steal from other games? But could you think of any examples off the top of your head? Because everything I'm thinking of pertains to like Dark Souls kind of stuff like that. Borderlands. Oh, dude, Borderlands, especially Borderlands 2, is just so good.
Yeah, they do the same thing. Like, you have in Borderlands 2, you had the one where you could fight all the bosses in the arena.
Oh, yeah.
I never finished Borderlands 3, so
I did beat
I
Borderlands 3. See, Borderlands 3 did the combat right. I think the combat was better for Borderlands 3, but the story fell far short of 2 and even 1. Like, 1's story was not incredible, especially the ending, but 2 is one of the best stories in gaming, I think. You've got an incredible villain. All of the DLCs knock it out of the park in 2. Like, everything about 2 is so good, and 3 does some things well. Like, I think there are some fun guns. I think the combat's fun, but the story just kind of falls flat, especially after 2.
I kind of broke the gameplay.
Yes, you did.
I'm a maniac.
Yeah, that not incorrect. Would you like to explain to the good people how you absolutely destroyed that game?
So, I don't even remember what his name was, but the white hair guy,
Zane,
yeah, he has an ability that every time you get a kill, your movement speed increases. And he has another ability in a different tree that says anytime you, the faster you're moving, the more damage you deal. So you would basically just run in circles and kill enemies, and you would just keep speeding up, and then you could launch yourself across the map. Like, the bigger maps, I stopped using cars because I was just faster.
Which is so ridiculous.
On the ground.
Insane. What would you do?
I also upset a whole lot of people with that game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the group I played with originally was like, oh, we want... It's like 2 of their first times, and one of my brother Zach was another one of the players, that they're like, let's do it all together. And I was just like, where's the boss? Boss is dead. Okay, next thing. And everybody was like, that's not fair. I'm like, I don't care if it's fair. I'm not playing this to have fun. I'm playing this to win.
Eli min-maxing Borderlands. It's like you approached Borderlands 3 with the same angle that you approach League.
I don't min-max League. I just have fun and don't give a crap.
Which is
in League
hilarious because it should be the other way around. In League, it should be like,
yeah.
I'm not doing this for fun. I'm doing this to win. And in the other games, it should be like, I'm not doing this to win. I'm just here to have fun. But of course, you have to make everything a contest.
Yeah.
But
they had one boss kill without me, and that was when they found a secret boss in 3, and I was already on the other side of the map.
Jeez. Would you be interested in playing through the Borderlands games with me?
Of course.
Streaming that?
But you got to play through 1 with me.
Yeah. I'm down. I have to see.
And no pre-sequel, because that game sucked.
Shut up. Pre-sequel was fun.
Yeah, I'm just flipping through Game Pass trying to figure out adding games to the list.
Oh, dude, do you have Steam downloaded on your new computer yet?
It came in today. I haven't even installed it yet.
Get Steam on your new computer because Borderlands 2 is $5 on Steam right now. It's 75% off.
I already own Borderlands 2 on Steam.
Oh, okay. Well, then that solves that.
Yeah.
Apparently you can...
Remember we used to play?
Yeah, dude, that's been so long ago. That's a long time ago now. Apparently you can buy the entire Borderlands collection, including the 2 Tales from the Borderlands games, with all the DLC, and that includes the customization stuff, for $42 right now. Normally $389. Actually, $555. But I have some of that taken off because I already own all the Borderlands 2 stuff. Thank you for the like, Squiddy Boy. Also, if I had to fight Absolute Radiance in real life, I'd die. I don't stand a chance. But, you want to play Borderlands 2 at some point next week?
We can try. I don't know what your schedule's looking like.
I'm off Wednesday, Thursday next week. And I don't have a schedule made for next week yet.
I mean, I'm planning to do like a 6-hour stream on Thursday.
Oh, fair enough. I mean, hey, if you want to do it, if you want to play Borderlands 2.
But it's at like middle of the day, so it's like 12 to 6.
Yeah. I'm cool with that.
Fair enough. And then Friday's going to be my nighttime stream, my 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. stream.
Ooh, whoa, jeez. Friday's my off day, so you'll have that spot all to yourself. But if we want to get on to the big topic for today, winging it as a DM. Now, the reason I added this one, I was trying to come up with things to talk about last minute, and I was like, oh, well, we have D&D tonight. I don't have anything planned for D&D. Why don't we talk about winging it as a DM? Which, now, I don't have to wing it, because I have a whole extra week, but, you know, we could still talk about winging it as a DM, considering that's what you do weekly.
Well, not currently, actually.
Oh,
I
really?
actually have, Yeah, dude.
Eli did planning? What? Mind blown.
I actually have you guys all the way to level 5, I believe.
Jeez. Look at Eli doing his due diligence.
So, okay, level 4 is the last level up I have on here. But you would be hitting level 5 doing what you're doing in the where you're at, where you would be at. So
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm already preset on most of this. That's why I'm not like concerned.
All right. Well, fair enough. So that's out of the ordinary for Eli, but
This is also the original campaign that I had planned out to level 12.
Oh, that's fair.
Because that's when I actually like took notes of what happened during the session and adjusted.
Yeah, that's true. That does help you quite a bit. So, just for context on that, Eli is running his first ever campaign. That he ran for us all the way back in high school. When I say he ran for us, me and other kids at high school, not our current group. But so he's basically just rerunning this campaign. But
I've made a lot of changes to it, but I mean,
right, of course. I mean, you've gotten
still
more. It's
still following the same. Yeah, it's still following the same idea.
Right.
Like what you guys are doing now is completely new.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But having been the only person in this group who played in this campaign originally, I don't know what's happening. The only thing that we did that was the same as the first campaign was the blink spiders. And I wasn't even involved in that because I missed the first session of that campaign. So
Yeah. The blink spiders and the skeletons, you missed both those fights.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So, but to get back on our topic is as a DM, there will come a time when you do not have stuff prepared for a session. You might have a general idea of where you want to go, but it's not really like solidly, yeah, that's what I want to do. Like,
so
we have it laid out. We have what they're gonna fight. We got what they're, all kinds of stuff like that. Go ahead, Eli.
I learned this. Matt Colville talked about it in one of his running the game things, and then like 2 months later, Matt Mercer talked about it.
That's funny.
That players are so erratic that it's not funny. That it's better to not plan and just have like, if they go down this route, we'll look into stuff like this. But since both of those DMs deal with players that like to talk to each other in game, it's a lot easier for them just to be like, okay, let me just write down and come up with an idea really quick. They have story notes that they want to hit, but they let the players organically find it, if that makes sense.
Right. And that's what hold on, typing something. That's one of the best things you can do whenever you have to wing it is just say like, hey, you guys were going here last session. Well, you arrive here. What do you want to do? And then you kind of organize, like, okay, if there's a fight this session, here's what I need to do to get the fight set up. If, there's a big interaction that they need to have with a king or a mayor or a bad guy or blah 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 whatever, you kind of just say, what do you guys want to do? And you'll get the players who are like, I want to go to the store, I want to go to the magic shop, I want to go to the blacksmith, I want to go to the bar, like stuff like that. And it will kind of buy you time, at least a little bit, because you do still have to do the whole interaction with like whoever they're talking
I think
to.
you guys roll dice.
Yeah, people love rolling dice. It is so easy to get people distracted.
Yeah, I rolled the clickety-clackities, and they're like, oh, the clickety-clackities! And they freak out. And it's like, okay, that gives me like 5 minutes as they try and find their dice to roll the clickety-clackies. Not remember what they're rolling for, ask me, I tell them try and find it on a character sheet.
Well, and you'll inevitably get somebody doing that anyways, because they'll go to the blacksmith and be like, can I try and riz up the blacksmith to get a discount? And you're like, just roll a persuasion check. Like, okay. I rolled a 21. All right, yeah, sure. What do you say? And then you make them play out.
That's one of those things that I've learned this, which sounds really weird, is instead of having them roll right away,
you have them talk.
Okay, how are you doing?
Yes,
and if they fumble over their own words, oh man, now you're making it a disadvantage, my guy. And then it's like, oh, I have to think about what I'm going to say. I can't just go, I'm going to do this. It's like, oh, no. You got to think.
Right. Exactly. And I mean, it makes it more immersive, because if you're just like, if the player's just like, hey, I want to talk to this guy. Okay, roll a perception or a persuasion check. I keep almost saying perception, but roll a persuasion check. Oh, I rolled a 21. All right, yeah, you convince him. Like, when rather it's like, hey, yeah, I want to talk the shopkeeper down, see if I can get a discount. All right. What you saying? What do you mean? You've got to talk. You're the one talking to the blacksmith. You want to get a discount. Now they've got to come up with a reason why they deserve a discount. Well, I'm an adventurer and I do this, or I'm actually one of the sons of the mayor, and then it's a deception instead. And if you say something dumb like that, it might be like, take that at disadvantage there, buddy. You might want to think about what you say first. But it also gives an opportunity to reward a player. Like, wow, okay,
I didn't think you would come up with something so...
Yeah, you actually came up with a legitimate reason that you can back up. You have evidence for. Go ahead and get advantage on it. And that's... I might have talked about this before, but I had an idea for a video a long time ago that I don't have the means to produce at the moment, but I would love to at some point in the future. And that's D&D, but you have to do what your character's doing. So it's basically, if you're like, oh, I'm gonna jump over a gap. Like, I'm gonna jump over this ravine. All right. We made a little jump for you to make outside. Let's go take the leap, buddy. See if you can make it. Or...
I am definitely playing a bard, and I am only talking to people. Does that mean you'll have NPCs that I have to, like, try and riz up?
That would be really funny if I could get people involved in that. That would be hilarious. But that's like a 100,000 subscriber thing, not a 100 subscriber thing. But I think the
Hey,
slightly...
you're at like 160.
Yeah, I'm at 159 right now, which is wild. But the more feasible thing right now, which could even be a precursor to the actual session, is having people in the D&D group do something to determine their stats. So it's like we go to the gym, we can see who can it's push pull carry, right, in D&D.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
give me a second.
you see who can carry the most, who can push the most, who can pull the, like, all, you test all those things and you kind of make it a scale for rating and making their character. And then
So
charisma
for
would...
strength, it is 30 times your strength score. So if you can, uh,
So dang, okay. So if you have a 20 in strength, you can push pull carry 600 pounds. Jeez. You're offended you're not a guest on the episode? Alex, if you want to get on Discord, you could become a guest on this episode halfway through. We're all about the chaos. Also, what's up, Dauntless Stark? No.
not currently playing, but we do have a D&D group which the two of us participate in, and Alex is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We know, Alex, you wing everything. You are a mad lad.
We would love to stream D&D. I just don't have a way to set it up right now. Oh, you're at work. Okay, never mind, Alex. Fair enough.
Well, we do have the technology to do it.
I love the phrasing of that. We have the technology. We can rebuild him.
But
it's a matter of getting everyone to agree with being on stream, and I don't know that everyone wants to do that. Which I can't blame them. It's not... streaming ain't for everyone. So
the funny thing is, like, I don't think Finn would have a problem. I doubt Justin would have a problem.
No,
I think
Justin
we're really
does.
just looking at Willie.
Justin,
he does?
Justin does not want to be on any of my streams. He, no joke, told me if I brought him on this podcast, he would do everything in his power to make sure I can't be on YouTube anymore. Like, all right.
Well, I guess it's time to get him on one of my streams.
That would be really funny. But yeah.
No, I know where Alex is working tonight, Squid Boy, and no, there's literally nothing to do.
Yeah, there is no work to be done.
It's 7:40 on a Wednesday. There's nothing going on.
But
oh, by the way, Alex, don't forget to put the pork in the oven tonight.
All right, glad you're reminding Alex of jobly duties while on stream. But my brain just died. Where was I going? Oh, I might possibly ask my friend Toxic Plays on YouTube is his YouTube channel. He streams quite a bit as well, but I might ask him if he would like to do D&D. You know, check it out. But
fair enough.
Okay, yeah, Dauntless Stark, absolutely. I keep forgetting to add the tagline to the podcast playlist. I also forgot to put this stream in the podcast playlist, so I'll have to do that after. If you don't like tangents and non sequiturs, this is not the podcast for you. So absolutely. For anyone not looking at the chat, Dauntless Stark would like to offer a D&D related story that could possibly derail the podcast. just wants to know if he's the bad player in the story. So yeah, go right on ahead. And but while you're typing that out, oh gosh, sorry, I'm congested. I can barely breathe through my nose.
Sucks to suck, nerd.
I'll talk about my my current campaign that I'm running, which I am putting up campaign diaries for. So if you're interested in following our campaign, I'm throwing up one probably every other Wednesday is what I'm going to try and shoot for. But let's see. Had a level 18 Necromancer multi-year long campaign to keep the plot and story short. My character was being haunted mentally by a rogue god that had been forgotten to time. All right, we're already in the fun zone. This is intriguing. A rogue god.
They make appearances.
Oh yeah, you know they show up every once in a while. You know, haunting players and I'm not gonna say that. I was gonna say haunting players and fondling their nuts. You know, rogue gods like to do that. So in order to unlock a forbidden spell, he ended up sacrificing a city, one that for the most part was doomed to die regardless, as it was a battleground for a war that was about to break out. Okay. So we have a player murdering an entire city. this is oh yeah. For these Shadow Eldritch beings plot, I was always open to the GM, and we talked through several versions of this idea until it actually happened. Okay. Good. Always good to talk to your DM. My party couldn't kill me, plot reasons, so they made a deal off screen, outside of the voice call, to make a deal with an NPC, a demon lord, okay, to petrify me, and they all teamed up to counterspell your counterspell. Oh, okay. And despite having more saving grace, which I had talked to the GM beforehand, predicting something like this, they changed their mind mid-session and my character was killed off. Interesting. My character isn't always the best received. So, was this a good campaign that got derailed by you? That's just Necromancers as a whole. For the most part, I was a team player and I really didn't cause no strife aside from the breaking point for the character. So, okay, that makes logical sense for the character's progression. This was years ago, since moved on. Love my character and haven't played a single session of D&D ever since. I feel tainted, as these were some of my closest friends. Was I a bad player to be betrayed? What could I have done better? So,
listen, here's the best thing I can tell you right now. It's make-believe, man.
Right.
I hate to say it, but it is to have fun. And yeah, sometimes you play the character who makes the bad decision, and you face consequences for it. And that's okay.
And absolutely.
Because you can come back next week and play and have fun.
And
it
as long
does not matter.
As long as you aren't a poor sport about it, or your other players and your DM aren't a poor sport about it, then there's nothing wrong with having a character who turns on the party and has to be eliminated. And if you're upset about it, you know, you can talk to the other players and see if there's another way to solve it without having your character killed, or if you can, I mean, heck, I've seen situations of somebody's character going so far enough off the deep end that they actually became one of the main bad guys that the party had to stop in the campaign. And so the player was like, yeah, you know what? I'll hand over this character to the DM. He'll become a bad guy. I'll make a new character. But like Eli said, the most important thing is to have fun and sometimes acknowledge that it's like, I'm not in the right group. Because we've definitely played with people ourselves. We generally get along with people. But we've played with people ourselves where we're like, we don't want to play with this person anymore. Because they try and min-max and turn it into a contest rather than just, playing with friends.
Here's a perfect example from Spencer's last campaign.
This was an end for a 3-year campaign. Before you get on with that, let me ask the question. Were you satisfied with the ending of that character? Or did you want there to be more? And outside of the game, did the other players harass you about having a character that turned evil? You weren't satisfied. Okay. Did the other players argue with you? You felt totally robbed? Okay. That makes sense. If that's not how you wanted the character to end, But did the other players at least discuss with you and say to you, not away from you in their own little circle, did they say to you, hey, if you don't stop doing this, or if you don't do something different, whatever, we're not going to have a choice? So they kind of give you a warning about it. And also, not pertaining to D&D, were they respectful to you? We had a meeting afterwards as to why I'm staying dead. I don't think that's right. I think there should have been a discussion beforehand, like, hey, outside a game, if your character keeps going this way, the party's not going to fall in line with it. Because, they're a good guy, I'm a good guy, we can't support this entire town dying. We want to do something different. If we can lead you down a different path, if there's something else we can do to help you, we work with you to try and solve that. But not pertaining to D&D, were they disrespectful towards you because of that? Other than long turns, I RP'd, I engaged, I took notes, I did all the good boy stuff. Because if they weren't respectful towards you, then I wouldn't say you are in the wrong. Sometimes a character doesn't end the way you want it to. There's another point we can talk about that from my last campaign, but I'll pass it over to you, Eli, for what you were going to talk about.
So there were for the second half of the campaign, because I do know what you're talking about. I played a sorcerer, and we had a party member.
My character wouldn't want to do anything with my character which I actually could work with, and there were plot reasons on how I could have gotten out, but no, I'm dead, more or less due to peer pressure. Yeah, that's not right. And it could be a sign that you just didn't fit in a D&D group with those people. Because I've been friends with people, and it's like I played D&D with them. I'm like, I don't want to play D&D with them. They're not playing D&D the way I like to.
We play very funny, silly, goofy.
Yes, we are typically very laid back with D&D. But once again, go ahead.
So there was a character in the party who, Kenku Gloom Striker Ranger.
Stalker.
Who started Stalker Ranger. My character had started at a very low point and started to make their way up. His started at a very high point and made their way down really fast. And it hit a point where my character was like, I talked to Spencer about this, I'm like, if this keeps going on, I'm burning everything and leaving. I'm out.
You also failed to mention that your character was married to that character, so...
Yes, we know.
But that was a very interesting thing to watch, because his character... This is our friend Justin's character. His character started off as like a vigilante in his own town. He was, rescuing people, typical like Batman, yeah, Green Arrow. I think Green Arrow is who he based it off of. Obviously, he wasn't playing Green Arrow, he was playing his own character, but he kind of based it off of Green Arrow. And he was like good boy. He would be very respectful to people and everything.
Innocence.
Absolutely, yes, 100%. Then he straight up capped somebody after a fight you had with him. Just arrow right into the forehead. And it started trickling down from there, where he made a deal with a devil. And he was like, uh-oh, this was a bad deal. I need a way to get out of this. The deal was due to him reviving his father, who was a warlock, and had dues to the devil. Long story, but basically, just to make it short, he was wrapped into this deal with the devil, and who else came to bail him out but the Raven Queen? So he became the champion of the Raven Queen and slowly started to sink into darkness. Where your character... I'll let you explain your character.
My character is the atypical daddy issues girl. Who basically sewed herself into the weave of magic, yada yada. Started to become a powerful sorcerer.
If you're talking, I'm not hearing you.
Yes, I was trying to read.
Oh, okay.
Do both on power.
All right, fair enough.
So, she was spiraling really fast, and then this party, she started being around good people and doing good things, even though she wasn't really doing good things.
Oh, yeah, no. She was a little hellion when she started.
But slowly over time, she started seeing, like, hey, you can just be good to be good.
Right.
And she started to make her way out of the spiral. And she cast away her past, like, yada yada. She changed the path for her future. And she fell in love with the ranger, and the ranger started to go evil because they kind of met up at the crossing of paths. And it was like, oh man, you're just like me.
Yeah, you guys were like us, like two bullet trains going the opposite direction. And eventually...
Got to the point where I was like, I'm just going to run. I don't care. I'll just take everything I need and go.
Oh, yeah. And,
I'm set up for the rest of my life.
And there was a conversation between the other players that it was like, we need to have a talk with him, because if he continues to start doing evil things like this, we need to stop him. So...
And the funny part was, I wasn't even a part of that conversation, because I was just like, I don't care, I'm just gonna leave if things go bad, because I'm squishy.
But
I will die first round.
We did have that conversation multiple times with him. We let him know, hey, you're kind of going to a dark place. People aren't gonna like that. Your own party is not liking that. They see what's happening with you. You're becoming more brutal. You're outright executing people when they have no way to defend themselves after you've already beaten them in battle. You're doing some heinous things. And
funniest part, it was the two joke characters that were like, hey, this is kind of messed up.
Right. And they knocked some sense into him, and by the end of the campaign, he kind of turned it around and was coming back to the good side. But well, just to catch up on Stark's comments. So running gag, how much you stood out and led to some really fun engagement. And absolutely, it can. Wasn't a murder hobo. I was the team medic, not cleric, but knew human anatomy. Okay. So yeah, it sounds like you were being a team player, and they had the same thing that happened
In ours,
in our campaign, except they didn't handle it the right way. Because if you had the conversation with the DM and had the conversation with the rest of the players, and the other players were like, "Hey, dude, like if you keep doing this, like if you're going down the path we think you are, we're not going to be able to defend your actions, and we're going to outright turn on you." If there was that conversation and you at least understood what was on the table for the character, then it would have been a more than fitting conclusion. But since they didn't have that conversation and they just kind of decided, "Oh yeah, you're going to die and you can't come back," like that's not cool. So I don't think you're in the wrong there.
Kind of like Mars.
Oh my gosh, favorite. Mars.
Just decided to make all the decisions on his own, didn't care about anybody else, and then he ran off and got killed and no one knew.
No, yeah, we had no idea that he died. Oh boy. And we were, I mean, there was the point where we were kind of like, what happened to Mars?
PPK happened except for your character.
Well, no, Mars got revived and then died again. And you made another character for one session. Squiddy Boy,
I died like gone.
Yeah. We don't typically go that late, so we won't be on until 8:45. But yeah, Dauntless, I actually planning a campaign that, out of pity, sure, where it's in the distant future and he busts out and is the big bad trying to kill the Pantheon. That's awesome. Like, dude, that's cool. I love that idea. That's I love taking characters, even if it's not in the same world, from past campaigns and bringing them into mine. Like Eli just talked about, my character was the only one to survive. That character's name was Dante. He was a tiefling rogue, swashbuckler. I plucked him from that game as my own player character and dropped him into my world as an NPC. And he interacted with the players, he helped them at times, they helped him. Like, it, you know... And I think he made an interesting character. I don't really know what you guys thought of him. But,
I mean, the two characters I played had two very different opinions of him.
Oh, yeah. Which, we can talk about, love really obscure, unique characters, even if they don't fit in. Oh, yeah, 100%. We can talk about, I mean, the whole party from my last campaign didn't fit in. Like, it was just...
we were a giant group of misfits running around causing problems.
You had
all we were.
Your first character was a fallen Ronin who had been brought back from the dead, died before he got to regain his honor. We had one Kinku that was a warlock who was evil, who died, and then was replaced by his son, who started to become evil and then started to become good again. Married to your second character, who, like you said, was the typical girl with daddy issues, who goes from the edgy emo teenager to, like, the head of her house and a beacon of good. Then you have the turtle trying to become a god. Like, all over the place. And then the goblin who was an honorary giant. and
the Warforged who became a half-elf.
Right, yeah, the Warforged artificer who died and became a half-elf. Oh boy.
Which still leads to the fact the most player kills is not you. It's Justin.
Oh yeah, 100%. Justin killed like 4 players. Thank
He
you.
isn't even sorry about it.
Thank you, Squiddy Boy. I appreciate it. Like this half-orc dragonling that uses his internal heat to power Artificer power armor. Instead of magic, he tosses different kinds of oils around the battle. That sounds awesome. When does the podcast end? Well, we end when we end. Typically don't go longer than an hour and a half, and we're at an hour now, so. But
Probably gonna move on to our next topic.
Yeah, but yeah, there is nothing wrong with a character that doesn't fit in with the rest of the party. I mean, heck, that when I played Dante, we had a lawful good paladin, and I mean, most of that party was typically good aligned, and I just went around stealing stuff constantly.
What are you talking about? I was
Yes,
not good aligned
I
at
know
all.
Mars wasn't either, which is why the two of us got along. It's why our characters were just like buddy buddy. Not really. We respected each other, but the two of us were like the mischief makers in a mostly good party. So yeah.
There were actually a lot of really good character moments there where in character me and because originally we had 2 paladins, but me by myself was arguing with both paladins, and we were all stood up screaming at each other. And afterwards, I'm like, hey guys, I'm sorry, I got a little heated. And they're like, dude, we have not felt that in character ever. When you stood up and kicked the chair out from under us and yelled at us that gods aren't real, they're a figment of our imagination. We were like, well, now we have to defend our faith. And
oh boy. That's what I love so much about D&D is getting into character and doing the role playing. Oh man. Especially I had.
And this was after we had met a god, by the way.
Right.
We had talked to a god face to face, and I was like, yeah, you're not real. You're fake.
You don't exist.
Fake news, bud.
Yeah, I really loved, I gotta say, even though he's not my favorite character that I've ever played, playing Saurus in your more political intrigue campaign was probably the most fun I've had role-playing a character. Cause
yeah, but you put a lot of work into him.
I did. I really did. So a quick rundown, because we still have the games to talk about. It was a less combat-oriented campaign, and it was taking place during a rebellion against a corrupt king. And I was like, well, a rebellion's going to need spies, but they're not going to be like trained spies. So I had a shadow elf. It's Shatterkai is their name. Shatterkai Bard, who was an actor. And he played it up. He was Zivok Greythorn. And he was a famous bard that nobody knew. But he thought everyone knew him. But then partway through the campaign, it's revealed that was just a front. His real name was Saurus Noct. And he was acting as a spy for the rebellion because the corrupt king's Inquisition murdered his daughter. And the number of great character moments that I had with that character, oh man, he was so much fun. Like, he was useless in combat. He had, I think, 1 damaging spell, and he was decent with a sword. But overall, in combat, he was not built for combat. But outside of combat, oh man, he was so much fun to play.
And I walked into that game and told you guys there's not going to be much combat, and then immediately started throwing combat encounters at you guys, and everyone got so huffy with me, and it was hysterical. You said this wasn't supposed to be combat oriented. I'm like, well, stop making it. There's peaceful ways. There's some big encounters that I want you guys to have, but you guys keep going into everything just like we're gonna punch our way out.
Yeah. You had
We're
me
gonna
who
go
I'm like,
rob a
no,
bank."
I don't want to punch our way out. I'm not meant for punching. I'm meant for talking. But anyway, to kind of bring us back on track from that long tangent, we got one more topic to talk about, and that's the best games of the year. So 2023 was an incredible year for gaming. In more ways than one. You had the highest of highs and the lowest of lows in 2023. There were some really bad games as well as some really incredible ones. I only got to play one. We did our game of the year voting on a past episode, but Baldur's Gate 3 was my game of the year. But I'd have to shout out Alan Wake 2, Tears of the Kingdom. I know Spider-Man 2 is really good. A lot of people really liked it. There was one more game. One more game. Why did I forget it? That just came out this year. Poo. But a lot of great games this year. What would you... Lies of P. Lies of P! That was the other one. Lies of P was the other one. I still need to play that on controller instead of keyboard to give it its due diligence, because I tried to play it on keyboard and it... not working. But I want to play that again on controller so I can actually play it like I do the other Souls games. That was the other one. Thank you, Dauntless. But it absolutely, after watching some things, but it absolutely deserved more respect. And I apologized after I wrote it off when it wasn't good on keyboard, and I thought about it more. I'm like, well, maybe it's because keyboard's not how that was supposed to be played. Maybe it was because it needed a controller. But do you have any input on the games of the year?
Lethal Company.
Oh yeah, duh. Lethal Company too. That one.
I was gonna say Baldur's Gate 3 was the best game of the year, but I have to say this: Baldur's Gate 3 is great for people who don't have a D&D group who want to play D&D.
Yes. I see. The way I look at it is, personally, yes, I think I had the most fun with Lethal Company. But it's like Baldur's Gate 3 is objectively the best game of the year just because of what it did for the gaming industry. Like,
yes, I don't disagree with that, but we also have to remember Lethal Company is an alpha version right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%.
That was just one of those games where we picked it up for everyone, we all sat down, and we had fun.
Right.
Well, you've had a lot of fun. I keep trying to be the hero, and I keep dying for it.
Yes, yeah, you do. I have screamed a lot. Disgaea, I haven't seen anything about Disgaea 7. I looked it up on Steam, and it is too expensive for me right now, but I would not be unwilling. It's an RPG. Oh, dude, like right down my alley. But Moonstone Island is another hidden gem. I didn't hear about that one either. I'll have to look at that one. But I mean, yeah, I think Lethal Company is the one I had the most fun with, but I think the best thing Baldur's Gate 3 did for gaming was basically call out the entire rest of the gaming industry and say, this is what a good AAA game looks like. None of this, none of this like, oh, we're just going to port the same game yearly. Or, we're going to half-ass this for 7 years and then put out a half-done project and then maybe fix it over time. No, Baldur's Gate 3 came in just set this incredible, like, 5-course meal down on the table and said, this is what a true chef can make. EA comes out here with some, like, gas station sushi.
And I will also say this, the biggest glow up is probably Halo Infinite. Oh, no lie.
Halo Infinite.
That game has actually become fun to play.
From the beginning of the year to the end of the year, it's definitely like a different game. I have so much trouble with it. I'm not good at shooters, so of course I die a lot, but it's just one of those games that knows how to push my buttons perfectly and immediately send me to pissed off. Like, I don't know why, but that and League, both of those games, just I cannot keep a cool head while playing those games. I can get beat into the dirt by a Dark Souls boss for hours and not get tired of it. But like Halo and League and those like, for some reason they just they push my buttons.
Oh, okay, so right now, you're gonna play Master Chief Collection, all the Halo campaigns with me on Legendary, right?
Gosh, I mean, it's gonna be a nightmare and I'm gonna suck, but yeah, sure. I still have to finish 4.
You already played through them on Heroic.
I played through Reach on Heroic. All the others I played through on the second difficulty.
Normal?
Normal, yeah.
It's not that bad.
You say that.
ODST.
Do you remember what happened way back in high school when we tried to play the Halo 4 Legendary campaign? I hid behind boxes and you went and killed everything. Like,
yeah, but you have more experience now. I believe in you.
All right, sure. Jeez. Oh boy, Octopath Traveler 2 also came out. Octopath Traveler was on Game Pass and I didn't get to play it before it left. And the 2 was another one of those that I registered coming out and I was like, oh, that's cool. I'd still love to play that game, but just didn't have time or the money.
Like, I would love for, like, I want to go through, one of the things I want to do is play through Baldur's Gate on Tactician mode.
What's that?
There's no saving. It auto-saves when you rest in camp, and that's it.
Oh.
So you can't save scum things.
Okay, so, I mean, I guess that's not that bad. When you said there was no saving, I thought it was like, play through the game without dying. Good luck, idiot. Like...
No, there's no save scumming. So it's like, if you have a bad fight, you have a bad fight. And it's also on the hardest difficulty, so it's like, oh, we all died. Okay, I guess I have to restart the whole day. Darn.
Okay. That, I feel like, would get annoying for me.
Yeah, I just want to do it because I'm like, I'm trying to make a list of games that I haven't played or haven't completed, and I'm going to do a big playthrough run where it's like, oh man, I only played the original Dead Space. Let's play all of them.
Right. So, to kind of shift a little bit, talk about the worst games of the year. I have quite a few games that I didn't play, but One of them's going to be more broad. The other's going to be very specific. The broad one is any game made by Game Mill. For those of you not familiar with Game Mill, they're the ones who made Big Rig's over-the-road racing back in the 1990s, widely regarded as one of the worst and most broken games to ever exist. Well, they sure weren't done with that. They had a few incredible stinkers this year. The headlining act being Avatar: The Last Airbender Quest for Balance, which was essentially...
Oh, God.
I don't remember if I railed on this on another podcast, but
No, you railed on this in person. It was so funny.
I tore into this game when it first came out. It is essentially a mobile game that they charged $50 for. Let me just go ahead and slide this on screen. You can see if Steam would let me move the window. Steam, what is... Can I please? Steam will not let me move the window. It is locked to the middle of my monitor.
Probably get that fixed, bud.
What the heck, Steam? Can I please?
So I can throw one out there. Blood Bowl 3 kind of fell flat on me.
Oh, really?
It's just jank. That's the biggest problem. It just doesn't... It feels like the original Blood Bowl video game that came out 20 years ago.
Oh, okay.
But better graphics, and it's like, awesome, I don't like this.
Alright, I'll switch it off of the Bardic Blunders background for just a second so I can show you this Avatar game. Look at these pictures. Look at this. Mostly negative reviews, by the way. 67 reviews. I'm surprised that many people bought the game. It is half off. It is $25. It's $50 normally. This is a $50 game. They're actually... I am not your beta tester. That is the best review that anyone could give this game. I am not your beta tester. Like, this game is terrible. It's so bad. But, anyways. Oh, boy.
Oh, Starfield also sucked.
Oh, yeah, Starfield was... I don't think
I am going to stream it only because I just want to go through and suffer through the entire game.
I don't think it necessarily sucked, but I do think it was one of the examples of a AAA developer just being like, oh, well, we can throw out whatever we want and people will play it. And it was not a good game. I don't think it was bad per se, but it was not good. Did you see... One last thing before we end stream. Did you see their actual statement on the empty planets?
Oh, yes, I did see that, and I was like, yeah, who cares? Go away.
They actually made the claim that the empty planets were interesting and that gamers were just entitled because when people landed on the moon, it was cool. And it was... like, we're playing a video game. We're playing a game where we can fly through space to multiple different planets that all have nothing to do on them. This is not the real-life achievement of landing on the actual freaking moon. Like, what are you talking about? Oh, boy.
Yeah. It's... Now, I will say, when I did play, I did immediately go to the moon and run around on the moon.
Of course.
Because I was like, I'm on the moon. Yay.
But yeah, I think all we got left is our quotes. So
yes, our quotes.
All right, I'll do mine. Mine's a little bit off the wall. I have to give context to the quote. It is from Shakespeare. And I'm bringing it up because this is what me and my dad were talking about it the other night. But so the whole exchange is between Romeo and Mercutio. And Romeo says, "I dreamt a dream tonight." Mercutio responds, "And so did I." "Well, what was yours?" "That dreamers often lie." And it's that dreamers often lie is pretty much basically for those of you that need the translation, Romeo's like, "Oh, I had a dream." Mercutio, "Oh yeah, so did I." "Oh, Romeo, oh well, what was yours?" Mercutio, "That you're full of crap." I love that little back and forth between the two of them. And it's one of the many reasons why Mercutio is my favorite character from that play.
Yeah.
Because he's such a smartass. But what do you got for yours? If you got one at all.
Yeah. From Lionel Johnson from Warhammer.
Right.
Loyalty is its own reward.
Okay, that one's pretty good. But yeah, so there we are. Another successful podcast in the books. I hope everyone enjoyed. I will see you all tomorrow for Pokemon. If you would like to tune in, Pokemon Blaze Black. We're going to have some fun there. And you got anything you're doing tomorrow?
Starting the setup process for a PC and a million other things like the DMV.
Fair enough. Oh, yeah, that's right. But, all right, well, hope you all enjoyed. Have a great night. And tally ho!